In this presentation, we will discuss evaluating a web page for currency of the information and relevance to a thesis. This presentation will help you prepare for the Web Sources module evaluation activities. Let's return to the nuclear power web page we first saw in the Evaluating Author and Website Agenda presentation and examine currency, or date of publication of the web page. Sometimes a web page will have a publication date listed. On this page it says updated June 2011. Remember that your thesis guides you on how old or new you need your sources to be. Use your best judgment when examining the date of your sources. What do you do if there's not a publication date given for a web page? Again, that shouldn't mean you automatically pass on this as a source. Look for clues within the text that may let you know a time frame for the information. You may have a list of references at the end of the page. Are they up to date or not? Does the page refer to current or older events in the news? Do links on the page work or are they broken? This is a clue as to whether or not the owner has kept the page up to date. There are many other ways besides a publication date to get clues about currency. If this page had not given us the June 2011 date, we could look for dates in the text, like 2000, 2001, and 2007. The information is as current as at least these three dates. In an activity, when I ask you the questions, is the information on the site too old to be useful, and why or why not, an answer for this web page might be, the information is not too old to be useful because the web page was last updated in June 2011 and refers to information from 2000, 2001, and 2007. Now let's look at the relevance to the thesis. Keep in mind that a thesis statement may have several parts. Most of the time, you will not find a web page that addresses all parts of the thesis. Let's look at a sample thesis that relates to this web page. Greenhouse gas emissions from power plants are one of the largest contributors to global warming. Therefore, a greater emphasis on cleaner alternative sources of energy are needed to control increasing global temperatures. Now let's talk about the content of the web page again. What does this page cover? Mainly global warming changes and emissions from electricity production. It doesn't deal with the second part of the thesis, dealing with an emphasis on cleaner alternative energy to control rising temperatures. So if I ask you the questions, does the information on this page support some aspect of the thesis, and explain which aspect and how the web page supports it, the answer might look like this. The web page supports the part of the thesis stating greenhouse gas emissions from power plants are one of the largest contributors to global warming by providing data on the current levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere due to coal burning for electricity and the projected increases. Finally, let's discuss choosing whether or not to use this web page to support the thesis. This is where the evaluating techniques you learn from all the presentations come together and you give me your opinion. On activities, you will see the questions, should you use this web page to support the thesis, and why or why not? For this web page, you could answer, yes, although the web page is from a group supporting nuclear power and may be biased against other forms of power, it provides fairly recent information with references that support one part of the thesis. I could use this with other sources on the need for alternative forms of energy to support the other part of the thesis. So this is the web page evaluation process. If you have any specific questions, please contact me.